Good morning. I decided to start recording this class just in case the Zoom connection is not good enough. So I'm not in my usual location. That's why I opted for a Zoom class. But I'm not sure if the connection will be good. So just to be safe, I decided to pre-record this class. So today, my plan is to go over some portraits. So in the previous class, I just presented some basic ideas about portraits and selfies, and basically the difference, and give you some ideas you can think about. And I'm really, by the way, I'm really pleased about your reflections. I think that those basic concepts about what is a portrait, the intentionality, the importance of the content, and the try to capture the essence of the subject. I think it was really, really understood. I'm really pleased about that. And also the difference between a selfie and a self-portrait. And that is especially hard for your generation because you grew up with phones, with cell phones. And so much you included in this in your reflections that for you to now a selfie and the self-portrait was the same thing. And now I'm pleased that you understand it's not the same thing. It's not because self-portrait is something better than a selfie. Both are good, I mean, techniques and expressions, expression techniques, but the purpose is different. So when you take a selfie, your initial purpose is to share that, to capture a moment because you are in a specific place or showing a specific way or sharing with specific people, etc., etc. So it's about the experience. It's not about the aesthetics of the deep meaning. But in a self portrait, you're trying to capture something beyond that. Uh, it's not about a particular place, could be a place, it's part of the self-portrait concept, of course, but it's more about the subject. And the subject could be a person, could be an animal, could be also uh, a tree. I will show you some examples of my work. Um, and today, that's the plan. And those examples you will see different subjects. And the difference between a portrait of a tree, for example, and a landscape is how you take it, how the approach that you take for that. So you can take a picture of a tree of a group of trees and take it as a landscape. It's a way to represent the place, or your approach could be more of a portrait and take a picture of that tree or those trees, um, trying to capture the essence and the character of the trees. I'm going to show you some example. And also, going to take you through some examples of portraits um, with different purposes, with artistic purposes, with documentary purposes, also in a family setting, um, as a kind of razor in a way, um, something that is meaningful for me. And that's an important thing. When you take a portrait, um, so just put aside the those portraits that you take because you have an assignment or you're being paid for. Or you're a professional photographer and you need to take a picture of someone because they are paying you to take that. Take that away. So I will say that the rest of the portraits need to be meaningful for you. So you perceive the word and you perceive the person and you try to capture what that person means to you and why the subject is important to you. And that was the intention in one of the questions in the previous video about uh, ideas and a pitch for a potential portrait. And I noticed that most of you included in that pitch mutual people, like your mother or your father or a good friend or a brother or sister. That's great because that person will have a special meaning. So you're trying to capture that and represent with the portrait not just how that person looks, but all but this is more important. What is the meaning of that person for you? But that person, why that person is important for you, and how you perceive. And that's why the portrait is uh, is a dynamic discipline. So you can take a picture of a person right now, and 30 seconds later, another one totally different. And it depends of the situation. It depends, of course, of the location. It depends on the mood, the light, etc. But most importantly, it depends on you, how you approach it, how you really pay attention and focus on the activity. All right, let me try to do this. To use some examples. Let's start with this one that is quite peculiar. So um this picture was taken, I mean, months ago during a trip to a remote location, very poor location in the northwest of Venezuela. It's a rural location. And I took several pictures of this same location with the house, the light, the sunset light, and the shadows of the place. But one of the while I was taking the picture, this this rooster came across, and I took this picture. And the intention of this picture, this particular one, was not about the landscape. It was about the rooster that just moved inside the frame and so looking at the sun. So it's like a pose. So for me, this is not a landscape anymore. This is a portrait of this animal that decided to, I mean, move inside my frame. And this is also another char- characteristic, very important characteristic of photography. But sometimes you control the things, but you also need to be open to uncertainty. Things that happens without your control. And in this case, I couldn't control the rooster. Just moving and making this picture so special. So this for me is definitely a portrait because I approach it that way. All right, let's show another one. This one is in the same location, but it's totally different. This is the kind of portrait that we studied 2 classes ago. This is a constructionist portrait. So I spoke to this lady and and the beautiful kid um, and her daughter, and I asked her to move close to the window, to look outside, and just capture this portrait. And in my mind, I have this kind of relation because a lady like this, very poor, in a remote location, um, with her daughter, um, and I saw a lot of love, pure love, pure beyond, I mean, love beyond any material possessions. And it was like I mean, the idea of Virgin Mary or other, I mean, uh, through natural models. So that was my intention with this picture. I don't even know the name of this lady or the name of the beautiful daughter. And doesn't matter because this person is more a symbol here than the specific person with a name and a last name or even a location. This could be in any place. This is more like an idea of what maternity is about. what to be a model is. Uh, and so this is more like, around motherhood than around a specific person. So this is another kind of portrait, and we try to capture an idea or a mood. In this case, a model or of yeah. I think that the best way to express this is like the idea of a motherhood. What to be a mother is, what a mother is about. All right, move on to another one. Let's see. All right, this one is totally different. This is a family setting. It's here's my daughter-in-law and my grandkid, and we're in Washington, DC, just in a work. And of course, this is a picture about my grandkid and my daughter-in-law. It's a family picture, right? But I decided to include the landscape. So the landscape is also part of the picture. And the composition, the landscape composition, I use a specific camera that I have for landscape photography. So in this case, Oliver and Sian, yeah, the names, are inside the nature. So it's not just about the characters that are there and the love that they feel for Oliver and Sian. It's also about the space. So this picture could be a selfie as well, but it's not, because you have a lot of intention, and the intention here is trying to capture the landscape in a proper manner. You make the experiment in your mind, trying to remove the character from the picture, you will see a perfect landscape. So this is more about Sian and my grandkid in the landscape. Hope that makes sense to you. Some of these concept ideas are difficult to explain. It's more about a feeling that uh, intellectual concept. Okay, let's move to another one. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. So I captured these things. It was really, really, I'm really impressed by things, because it's like a miracle, right? See, the person's identical or very similar, but two different persons with different personalities. And this is the case. It's part of the family. And I didn't I didn't control this pose. So they decided to go there and grab the parents that way and look at the camera with that similar expression. Um, Also, some parents had the decision to use the same outfits for the teams. So that's makes it even weirder. So I don't know what's your how you I mean reflect on this, how you experience with things, or you have things, a brother or a sister. Um, but this picture is more about the singularity of being a thing or have two persons that are really, really similar. And it's more about that than the specific person that are here. So this is similar to the mother, the other picture of the mother. This is more like a symbol or a idea of things. And the things, I mean, is I didn't plan that, but after I took the picture, it's like the impossibility to have access to all the complexity of the persons and the complexity in this case of the teams. So we are not. It's impossible to get in contact with the all the aspects of all the nuances of people, because we have something, and this applies to everyone, not just to these twins. We have some barriers in between us. So that was the concept that I devised after I took the picture. Alrighty, let's go to another one. Let's see. This is a good one. This is the same location of the mother and the same location of the rooster. Um, So these two kids are actually brothers, and as opposed to the twins, they are very different because they are brothers with the same mother but different fathers, and that's I mean a common situation in Latin America. So you, I mean mothers with kids from different men, and but I perceive that the kind of relation that they have, they were really close, and the way that they pose, I directed this picture. Looking at the camera and posing close to each other. I really love this picture. It's one of my favorite portraits of all time. Um, and it's also, I mean, going into this concept is that brotherhood and love are beyond the color of the skin, beyond the race, beyond the gender. It's just it's something that is deeper than that. I really love this picture. Right. Let's go for another one. Let's see. Let's go with this one because I mentioned. Oh, sorry. Okay, pick another one because that one is really small here. Let's see. I don't know. Oh, well, I didn't talk about the right one, but let's look at this. I'm late a little, but this is sorry, it's blurred because I'm wearing it. Yeah. So it's a picture of a tree, but it's not a landscape. So my approach here is to convert this picture as a portrait. So trying to capture the beauty of the tree. I I decided what would be the angle I wanted to take the picture, and also the crop and focus on the main trunk of the tree and the texture. Unfortunately, this is not the quality is not good enough because I selected the wrong picture. Sorry about that, but I hope that you get the idea that you can take pictures of living beings like this. It's of course a living being. It's a tree. It's a tree, and and the difference between a landscape and a portrait in this case is your approach. I approach in this definitely as a portrait. I love I love trees, and I have a huge collection of portraits of trees. All right. Um, let's see. Moving to a family setting, but in a different context. This is a picture of my daughter, and she was, I think, 5, and my son is behind. So I took this pic is fully directed. This is pretty constructed portrait, and I was trying to represent some of the family dynamics, the complexity of the family dynamics, and they have a good relation. I mean, Daniela and David, but at times they were fighting, of course, and not not that close as it should be. They love each other a lot, but I try to represent that here. So Daniela in the first plane, on focus and looking like with a problematic face and reflecting, and then David on the background, blur and cross arm, like I mean, with a serious expression, probably not up here. Um, So this is a series about this complexity of the family image. Of course, that we would when I saw the picture after I took it and developed it, they were laughing about this because it's not natural in a way. It's more like a representation using in this case my kids as models. In the same series, I have this one. Uh, And this is about, and this is again David and Daniela again, and my and Filomena, my wife, was on the other side, and I don't know, I decided to put them against this wall, and the wall has a crack in the middle, so it's a kind of representation of sometimes the kids are really close and they have some complicity, and they're even closer that they are to us, to the parents. And sometimes there's a division or a crack between parents and kids and children. And that was the the meaning of this, and how I decided to go with this picture. Also, my wife, I asked my wife to look away, and posing that, and that, I mean, reflect this pose. So yeah, that was this is not a reality in the family. We're really, really close. But again, I'm trying to represent this family dynamics, the complexity of the kids, and they share a lot of things, and they can share those things with most of those things with parents, and how us as parents are sometimes are, there's impossibility to have a close relation with the children's, and often we have a kind of division or cracks or gaps, what you want to call it. All right, let's move to another one. Um, okay, this is this is interesting because this is blur, intentionally blur. These are my kids, Leo, David, and Daniela, to the beach. And I intentionally took this picture blur because the concept here is that some at times, especially when your kids turn growing, they becomes a stranger to you. I mean, you love them, they love you, but they're becoming strangers because they have different uh, ideas, different interests, different things that they like and or dislike, and this blur situation try to represent that. All right, the last series I want to share with you is something more artistic. So this is a series about women in the 16th century. So I use models uh, with some props, trying to represent the idea, not the idea, how women in the 16th century look. And the 16th century is really, really important for women. Women were strong characters that century, like Maria Antonietta and um, Anna Bolena, uh, etc. So I use this model to represent that. So I use the same location, it's in the studio, and the same lighting and some props. And this is more like a formal artistic portrait. So the first one could be this one. With a book, in this case, it looks like a Bible. And even the cloth that is, I try to use, I mean, to simulate a veil is not a real one. It's like a, and that's also part of the concept that is all simulated. The makeup is so contemporary, but the outfit is not. That's also the contradiction. And one of the concepts of the series is that women are the same, no matter the age, are the same inside, and the production is the same. The women are basically a mystery. So this is one of the pictures of the series. The series is called 16. Let me show you another one. Um, this is Anna Bolena. It's more like a queen. And the expression is so uh, funny. Um, to represent the innocence, also the the props that they use, the earrings, the fan, right? And the way that they use the dresses, really, really tight to the body. Shows you another one. Uh, I love this one because it's basically a dark cloak, and this it was the same cloth. I mean, the white cloth, and to I don't know, create a kind of hat or yeah, the kind of hat that they used at that time. And also, I love the expression of this model, um, and the way that they look at the camera, and also the chest. That's not the way that they used to dress at that time. So it's a kind of revelation also of the some features of the femininity was were, I mean, not just allowed to represent at that time. So that was also one of the concept of this series. All right, let me show you another one. That could be the last one of this class. Let's see. Could be uh, this one. I love this one because of the. It's more like a Spanish. It was it was a representation of a copy of a famous painting by Goya, very very famous painter from Spain, and I mean the props are really to represent the location. In this case was Spain, and the fan in the hand. And I love this model, by the way. He will be working with me for years. So the expression was so good. The lighting is the light is this kind of lighting, by the way, is called Rembrandt lighting. So it's a lateral lighting from above and create these shadows in one side of the face and totally illuminated the other half of the face, create an intimate setting for the portraits. All right, so this samples, I was trying to give you some ideas about how to approach a portrait um, in an artistic way or in an intimate way, or trying to document some things, or just react to something that you discover, or in a family setting, in a close location. So some of your ideas, by the way, to your pictures that you express it in your submission, was about again a mother or a sister of a friend representing something, calmness or stress. Okay, I hope that this samples that I showed you today will be helpful for that exercise. On and and just give me your comments. I would love to hear from you. So next class on Thursday will be in person, and in that class, I'm gonna show you some specific techniques, crop techniques, because in the first exercise that you took pictures of your partners, your classmates, your friends, was really really intuitive. But now we're going to move forward with more techniques. And the techniques that we'll be exploring next class will be cropping techniques. So what the proper framings. You want to take the full body or half of the body or close up. What will be the good cropping that you use? So that will be the focus of next class with with uh, with your partners. We'll be in partners again. And also on Thursday, we'll devote some time, probably 15 minutes, to go over all the requirements for the final project. So we will be prepared for that and try to start working on that as soon as possible. So you right now have some elements, some basic techniques that you can use for your final project. Could be stop motion, could be drawing, could be portraits, videos, etc. So different media and different techniques. So I think that one of the important things you need to put in your mind right now is start working on is on the ideas that you want to work on, the ideas and the concept around that, and basically the strategy that you want, and try to put the media of the thing at the very end, but start with the idea and select the technique that is will be better for that idea. All right. So I hope this class will be beneficial for you. Um, and again, you have doubts or reach out to me. I try to be as responsive as possible. And see you in person on Thursday, guys. Have a good one. Bye.